Did you know that game jams can actually ruin your game developer journey? I know it's fun and exciting, but there's something that most devs ignore or just don't even realize when it comes to game jams. It sounds counterintuitive, because if you watch at least a few dozen game dev tutorials, you have been told over and over again to keep it small and to keep it simple, which is exactly what a game jam does. In this video, we'll talk about why game jams are evil, what's the big problem, and how to resolve it. I think every dev can benefit from this video. You and your two buddies are excited. You're gonna participate in Ludum. The day comes, you're all aligned on Discord, ready to go. For the next 72 hours, you'll bust your asses off. You'll be working all-nighters. At the end, you scramble to finish your game and you upload it, but you do it before the deadline. You are exhausted, but you also feel a sense of pride because you did it. It's a typical scenario for game jams, and for the next 2 weeks, you'll be voting and checking out all the other games. The results are finally in, you look at them, and you're a little bit disappointed, but you're still proud of what you achieved.
You're one ugly motherfucker.
You put the game in a folder and you never really look back on it. If you had this experience, pay some respect in the chat. I have done this a ton of times. Game jams are not really bad, they can actually be helpful. They push you to keep it simple. They give you a hard deadline and you manage to put together a game in that amount of time. You get feedback and you become part of a community. Game jams are really good when you're starting out as a game dev. They are amazing when you want to test out new ideas or test out new games. A lot of amazing games were started doing game jams. I've been a part of a lot of game jams, maybe 40 in my lifetime. Mostly solo, but also in teams. And I realized after doing so many that they were not helpful. I create my own games and my game ideas can't be made in a short amount of time. It usually takes 6 months, a year, or maybe even 2 years to create them. I used to have 3 things that I did. It was YouTube, it was game jams, and my main game. It was all I did for a long time, but there was a problem and everything changed for me. I have a full-time job and I work as a technical animator in AAA games. This is my schedule, and from Monday to Friday my job takes 9 hours a day. Then I work out, I shop, I clean, I make food, I relax, shower and other stuff during the week. That's about 3 hours each day. And I need my sleep, of course, so that's 8 hours a day. If I'm lucky, I can spend 2 hours a day working on my own game. And on Saturdays and Sundays, maybe I can spend 6 hours each day if I don't have any other plans. That's 22 hours a week. I need all of those hours to do my game. As we know, games just take time. I even track them in an Excel sheet to see where I put my hours. And I know exactly how long it will take for me to get to the new milestone. And I put all of this together to get an overview of how I spend my time. If I do a 48-hour game jam in the weekend, in the best case scenario, maybe I can work 32 hours on that game. However, the week after, I'm exhausted and I need to recoup my energy. That can take a whole week where I don't work on my game. I realized my problem. In the chase of doing everything, I only did half of it. Game jams and YouTube pulled all my energy and my time. I became a game jammer and I became a YouTuber.
Brother,
Sometimes my videos would take 40 to 50 hours to create, and my main precious project became my secondary focus and I almost forgot about it. I just didn't have time for all of those things, and that's the exact reason why it took me 5 years to finish just one game. And I don't wish on anybody to spend 5 years on a game. I realized after working incredibly hard that I didn't finish any of my games. Most of my game ideas just became forgotten. And my huge problem was my focus. All the other stuff was just taking all of my time. And that's really the downside of a game jam. In the moment, it absorbs everything, but it's also an after effect where you have to recoup your energy. My time was way too precious and I needed to take it back. That's why I stopped entirely doing game jams and I stopped doing YouTube videos that required 40 hours of editing. I would much rather finish a game than do 2-3 game jams and gain 1,000 subscribers on YouTube in a year. Even though I love game jams and I love making videos, it's really difficult to stay focused for 1, 2 or even 3 years while you make a game. And it's so tempting to start a side project or do a game jam. But I know if I start that new cool project, I'll just end up in the exact same situation where a new idea is tempting. And then the cycle will just continue. We need to break that cycle. And if you're with me and want to finish your game, comment down below and let me know. By the way, it's also hugely important to get eyeballs on your game. And I made a video where I talk about the importance of showing your game and getting feedback. And I think you should watch that video now because this video is over. Thanks for watching.